So how long have you lived in Prince George's County?
I've lived in Prince George's County for 40 years.
And why did you or your family move here?
When I moved here, actually, I had gotten married and we moved from Washington, D.C. to Prince George's County. And then we later decided to have a family. And so we have a daughter and we wanted to raise her not right in the inner city.
Okay. And when did you come to Prince George's County?
I came to Prince George's County in 72.
Oh, all right.
So that's a long time. I've been here since 72, whenever. How long ago was that? Approximately 47 years.
Yeah. Okay.
So actually I've been here 47 years. Like I said, 40 something, but it's 47, so.
Yeah, I think the math on that is right. So, it's my favorite question. What are your earliest memories of Prince George's County?
When I first came, I liked that it seemed small and it wasn't built up so much. It was still sort of a rural kind of place. And I had come from a small town in Virginia, so I wasn't on top. A lot of people wasn't all around me and I'm on top of people. I liked that part of it and the quietness and that I had to go some distance, you know, not very far, but distance to get to a store, or it was more what I was familiar with, less crowd, less people. And I had never lived in apartments because when I grew up in Virginia, I lived in houses, so. And then, of course, my husband liked it at the time. He's deceased now, but so then you go along with that too.
Right. And you said that you taught in Prince George's County?
I one time, from my poetry, I did teach creative writing at the Mitchellville School of Arts. But no, I originally, when I first came here, I was working for, at that time they called it Bell Atlantic, then CMP, now Verizon. And that's where I retired from. In the meanwhile, I've done other things that I like to do. And since retirement, I got into poetry, and in Prince George's County, one of the focuses that I had when I started the poetry connection, is what was called the Poetry Connection, the Poet Connection, it was to focus on diversity, because all of the readings I had gone to was all black or all white. So every time I got ready to host an event, I made sure I would balance it out. I would get white and black to read, because like people say, Sunday is a day that we're all separate. Poetry readings were too. So that was my biggest focus as children in schools, and I did a lot in schools because a lot of children thought it would be impossible to be an author. And I had a book, had a book of poems, so, and I was encouraging them to write and let them know that anytime you write an article, you are the author of that. So, because it isn't published, it doesn't mean you're not that author. So I got a grant from the Prince George's Art Council. I had a personal grant to do another book. I decided to do a book from Prince George's County residents. They didn't have to be poets, but if they had a poem they wrote and they like to submit it, because I was trying to reach a clientele with people that wanted to see their name in print, and that will give them the understanding of knowing that you are an author, especially young people. And when I did it, I focused on diversity then. From age, I think the youngest was like 3 to like 80 something in the book. And the poet laureate at that time was Michael Glazier. He was a part of the book. It was called Echoes, and it is called Echoes. So I wanted some well-known poets like Michael Glazier to be among the regular citizens that wrote books. wrote poems. And it was quite a success.
I'm glad to hear it. Okay. So do you have any other early memories of the county? Anything at all?
Because I didn't know the area that well, I thought, well, everything seemed to be far. Like now, if you go down Route 5, for example, it's so crowded, and you could go for miles, and no one was on that road. That Southern Maryland Hospital wasn't there. A lot of things I've seen the growth, and it is good. But I like the openness to it. Now we're getting crowded like any other city, any other county. But I still think it was a good place to raise my child. So I don't have anything bad or indifferent too much to say about the county. My thing was that why complain about the county if you don't try to do something to improve the county? So in my writing, and with the knowledge that I had, I went about writing and something that I love. I went about with children and elder people especially to show them and to let them feel good and proud that they were part of the county and they could do this. So my biggest focus all the time in the poetry was about diversity of age, race, color, any of those.
Would you like to share anything else about your connection to Prince George's County?
My daughter graduated from the Prince George's County School. However, it was a magnet school, but she had a good education there. And some people say that there are not good schools. But as a parent, I had to be a part of that school system. I had to be a part of her education. I had to implement things that my child needed. My child was a juvenile diabetic, and I had to implement, and I was part of a program at Washington Children's Hospital Center in Washington because my child was. And I facilitated a group of parents that had other sick children. And I found that the school did not have in place for my child knowledge about juvenile diabetes. So I set out with that particular program to create for the school that my daughter was in some information so that they would know what to look for and how to care for, and to educate her friends, the young kids, because they were afraid of her. And I started talking about the improvements that we can start speaking or asking for what we want. My whole motto the whole time is that you lose nothing if you by not asking. By asking. You lose more by not asking. But if you ask, you are more likely to gain. Even if you get a no, you have gotten someone's attention. And therefore, you have stepped forward. Then you take another step, and you take another step. So that's what I found my niche in. I got to know my county executives. I got to work on their campaigns and all. So that was it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. They're waiting for me?
Nope.